on YouTube. What you guys saying? Hope everyone is well. Forgive this mad look. I'm just about to do my hair. It's about 7 something in the morning. I'm on schedule, and yeah, let's just get this ball rolling. I took out this half yesterday, and I just finished taking out this half, and yeah, basically I just want to put my hair in a bun, and I thought I'll sorry, I just want to put my hair in a bun, and I thought I'll just video and show you guys what I'll be doing. But yeah, I'm on a schedule, so let's just get this ball rolling. Yes, and also today I also wanted to just finish this second attempt wig video. It was supposed to be out some time ago, but what you call it, I had a little bit of a blip, I'm not gonna lie. You know how it is, people, when you're just in a low mood, and I was not well on top of it as well. Like, I was sick yesterday. I mean, literally physically sick yesterday. So hence the reason why I took out one half of my head and left the other, because I just needed to recoup. But yeah, I just wanted to finish talking about making this wig. Look at the state of it. But don't watch this. This is what real regular people do after the nicey, you know, the straightening and all of that, 3-4 days. This was gonna look after until the next time for a revamp. Okay, let's just get started. I'm gonna section my hair first, and don't worry, I'll definitely be talking about my natural hair journey and all of that stuff, but today it's just literally getting my hair back on track without the wig. Giving myself a break from the wig because there's really not much I can do with that wig, and it's still dirty. Like, you can still see like the makeup and all that. But yeah, good man. Come on, Can, say hello. Say wagwan.
Hello.
Don't be shy.
I'm trying to finish taking my hair out.
I told you need to take your hair out.
Now, isn't it?
Yeah, so let me start by putting my hair in sections first, because I really need to like condition it, because I never ever condition it. I just, like, last time I took out my hair, when I did the wig the first time, I took out my hair, and it was so naughty when the guy was doing my hair in the salon, because I just literally just went, like, because it was a quick thing, and I literally had to just take out my hair, wash it, and then go to the hairdressers for them to braid it down for me, and it was still like naughty. So this time I thought, let me just treat my hair, do a little bit of, you know, conditioning. So I just bought these Motions deep conditioning mask, and I'm literally gonna leave it just like 15-20 minutes, because literally, what's the time now? It's like 7 something and 1. Yeah, where I'm just gonna leave it on for like 15-20 minutes. I wanted to do the whole day thing, you know, caress my hair and all that shit, but we don't have time. So I just have like, move this out of the way. Well, let me just use this 3 sections. But yeah, so basically the second attempt for this wig over here, yeah, I used a different like wig cap, because I'll show you in pictures what wig cap I used. The first wig cap I used was a mesh wig cap. It was from the same company, but it was a mesh wig cap, and it fitted my head like to the T, and it was perfect. And by the time I finished, like I said, the first time it was uncomfortable, and obviously like my methods of how I did the first wig, you know, not gauging all that stuff, made it gather at the back. So I changed to a dome cap, and that was a little bit more loose. Didn't fit my head to the T, to be honest, but I just thought that, you know, when you do your wig, it gets tighter. Sorry, love, can you do me a favor? There's my headband. There's a hairspray in the kitchen, my water bowl. Yeah. You just bring that, please. It's in the kitchen, literally.
In the kitchen?
Yeah, literally. But right, yeah. Yeah, it gets tighter. So I thought, let me use that, so that if it does get tight, because it doesn't like fit my head perfectly, it won't be that bad when I take it off. Like, even if it does get tighter, it will still fit my head to the T, because it was already kind of loose to begin with in the first place. I'm just using my water bottle to detangle my hair. proceeded to sewing the hair on, and this time I did a perimeter kind of thing, like starting from, like, you know, the back where you do the first weft. You can either like start from here, or you can go around to where the lace closure finishes here. You know, when the lace closure like finishes here, and then you just go around, so it's like a full 360 circle. Or you can either go start back and forth like that if you want to. So the first time I started back and forth, I thought I'm not going to do that, so I just started with the whole 360 circle by starting my weft and going around, join it to the lace closure, lace frontal, sorry, and continued my way. And this time, guys, I gauged the shit out of my my space. Like, literally, I got my seam gauge. Yes, I am a seamstress in training. Let me just call myself that. I think that's the best what I can call myself, is that. Oh, where is it? But basically, I used a seam gauge, and I'm going to show you in the footage anyway what it looks like. And I measured my gaps and in between the wefts. And I did 1/2 inch in between each space, which works out to be a finger space. So shout out to Sophiology for that. I did get that tip from her. A finger space, because she was like, you want to put like 4 bundles, it's like a finger space, and I'm gonna show you the footage. And if you want to do like 3 bundles, it's like 2 finger spaces. So 1 finger space works out to about 1/2 inch. So like, let's ignore that. So let's start from here, because I don't, you know, that cuts it off. So let's say we're here. So here is 1/2 inch. And I used that all the way to the top, to measure my space in between the wefts, and that worked. I managed to fit all of my wefts, all of my bundles here, no problem, and I had a flatter result. So that is why, what I was saying in the first video, that you need to gauge. And like, if you're a beginner like myself, or like somebody who has had a little experience with wig making, you need like measure that. Like, trust me, like, it's gonna like save you time. You're not gonna have to do it again. It's gonna be neat. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be all clumped up together and gathering at the back like how mine did. It's really gonna be like, it's really gonna be spacious, and it's really gonna make you give you a really nice flat result when you do it neatly from the beginning. So please, like I said, do not have any pride, and like a beginner, just get a seam gauge, or if you're not a seam gauge necessarily a seam gauge, but at least a measuring tape, you know, like this. See, I've got like 3. Just get something simple like this. See, that one doesn't have the gold thing, so this would be like 1/2 inch. Like I said, just get a measuring tape and measure each time where you're supposed to put the weft. Yeah, like I said, if it's 1 inch you're leaving in between, that's your 1 inch, and you measure, and you obviously draw your guidelines. I just used the old makeup like eyeliner. This is not the color that I used, obviously. This is my eyebrow pencil, but like, you know, get one that you can see white, red, that works. I had a red eyeliner, but I just can't get at this moment, and I used the eyeliner. And what I did, I measured up. And like I said, I'll show you this in the footage. I measured 1/2 inch, and then where that 1/2 inch, I would draw across the whole like line. So that's what I meant by guidelines in my last video. I would draw with the eyeliner. Like I said, make sure you get one you can see, whether it's red, white, blue, whatever, as long as you can see it on the cap, and you draw across, and then you sew. Trust me, guys, your results, it's gonna be seamless, it's gonna be flatter. Take your time, sew neatly. And yeah, like, because literally when I put on the wig the second time I made it, I didn't have no gathering, I didn't have none of that shit. Like, it was literally flat. Everything was just perfect in terms of like the application wise. And then after that, I proceeded to oh yeah, before that, obviously I did dye the new hair frontal that I got for the wig the second time. Sorry, that was the first thing that I did, and for some reason, as usual, it did not take the black dye. I don't know why I'm going for these frontals, fam. They're not taking the dye. I don't get it. Like, I seriously don't get it. Like, I don't understand why it's not taking the dye. Like, I don't understand these frontals, why they're not taking the dye. Literally, and I didn't dye it 2 times. I learned from my first experience that, you know, if it's not gonna like take the first time, it's definitely not gonna take the second time. So I didn't even waste my time to sorry, I'm just looking in the wrong place. But yeah, I didn't even like waste my time to dye it the second time. So I just left it like that, and I'll show you footage that you can clearly see that the bundle hair is blacker. Then the other one is still that brown color that I don't necessarily like. So yeah, so I literally dyed it, and then it didn't take, and then obviously, like I said, I sewed on the frontal first, and that was I didn't have to take it on and off again. Like, I gauged it right this time properly. Like, I put the cap on my head, and then I I got my boyfriend to line where it finished, where the frontal comes up to here on my head, and then I just followed that, and it was fine. Like, it didn't have any, this is my hair. And if you have makeup in your hair, like I do, please do not comb it wet, like dry, because it will literally rip out your hair. See, I still got like the makeup in my hair. Just wet that shit and just, you know, do what you gotta do, where it's condition, wash, but do not comb it dry. It will rip out your hair, seriously. But yeah, yeah, I did the front on, I sewed it on, and it was perfect the way it came out. But the only thing that I did do to mess it up, when I mean I over plucked it, it's just, it's plucking with me. Like, I get so pluck happy, and I just like over plucked it to the point where it was bold, and I'll show you in the next footage. And I had to literally cut the front off at the front. So you know, like when your lace closure or your front was gone old and it's bare bolded, and then you can cut to like redo it again, and you know, repluck it again and save the wig and give yourself a bit more time. Like, yeah, before you have to get a new frontal overall, like after, you can still like use your frontal at least twice, because you can, you know, the first time you get it's 4x13, and then when it gets bold and you know you have to it's either you can get a new frontal then, or you can just say, you know what, I'm going to save my money and I'm going to reuse this frontal by cutting off the front bit, and that could be at least like 2 inches off. And I'll show you, you can see that I don't have as much space to part as I would have if I did not overpluck in the beginning. So basically it was like I was trying to save the wig. It's like as if like I had already used the front part, and then now I'm just cutting it again, the front bit. I'm cutting it again to repluck, and I had to pluck twice, but this time I really took my time, and I only like plucked a little bit on the mannequin head, and what do you call it, and I plucked the rest on my head. And I think I like plucking on my head because it's just, like I said, this was the second frontal I bought, and I wasn't gonna waste and buy another one, because the first frontal I got was with the bundle hair, and then the second one was from Pax, which was like 50 quid already. So that's already like, you know, over like, just say like 100 quid on frontal, because obviously with the bundle hair, I think the bundle hair and the frontal came up to like 160 or some. But if you want to say like, say if I bought the frontal separate, I can't remember how much they were charging, but let's say it would have been at least a good 70 quid for the 18-inch frontal the first time, and then I had to go spend another £50 on it at Pax. So that's what's 80 plus 50, Cam? Quick maths. 130. That's 130 already on 2 frontals. And I noticed, and you know what, and the second frontal was a 14-inch, but it measured, because the guy showed me a trick. So ladies, I thought of a way of like how you can save your pennies in case like you can't get the actual frontal that you want. The first, I'll show you, the first frontal was 80 inch, but that actually measured to 20 inches. So, And then the second front row I bought was 14 inches, and that actually measured to 18 inches. I got 4 extra inches of hair. So what I would say to you, if you're like on a budget and you're not, you know, you want like a long front, or you want a size front, or but you can't get it, get the one below it. Like, so for example, if you want 18 inch, get a 16 inch. That 16 inch should, I'm not saying all front or some do it to the T, 14 inches is 14 inches, 18 inches is 18 inches, but I think that most frontals measure longer than what they are advertised. So if you get 18, if you want an 18 inch frontal but you don't have the money for an 18 inch frontal, get a 16 inch frontal. You should have at least 2 inches of hair extra, and that will be your 18 inch. Or like I said, some may give you even more hair, because like I said, with that 14 inch I got 4 inches extra hair, and that made 18 inch. No, I haven't been in the wig game for that long to be knowing if all frontals are like that, and most of them do measure more than what they're advertised. But the two frontals that I've gotten so far, the first one had 2 inches extra hair, which was actually a 20 inch frontal, and then the second one had 4 inches extra hair, and that gave me my 18 inches. Because if not, I was going to order off Unice or Eunice or whatever you call that company, and that was going to cost me 75 quid. But I couldn't wait for the delivery. Like, even though the delivery was short on like when it was going to get here, it was going to get here in 3 days, I just wanted to do this wig now. Like, do you know what I mean? I just took it off and I wanted to do it now. I wanted it on my head because, you know, I miss straightening and curling and everything. I don't really do that. I don't do that. Not even I don't do that on my natural hair. Like, I don't put no heat. I don't blow dry. Nothing. The first time I went to the hairdressers was the first time I blow dried my hair in how many years? Like, seriously, I don't fuck with my hair like that. And I guess that's how my hair's gotten to this point, because literally I don't do nothing to my hair but just bun it. Seriously. But like I said, we'll talk about my natural hair another time. But yeah, so that's a little quick tip that I discovered as I was making this wig. But most of the time, the first time when I did the wig, it was in a headscarf, and then when I go out, I need to look fine, then I'll do it. And then the second time, it wasn't in the headscarf, like it was worn, but it was just like as if I was rocking an all back look all the time. Like, even though like I had like all like 2 inch space like parting in, and it's a lot more than what you get with a synthetic wig. Like, with a synthetic wig, you only get like this much space. I only had like this much space to work with, and I just wasn't feeling it. Like, I don't know,